Hi everyone, so after my last tutorial I got a lot of questions, particularly about how to open books, so I think that's a trend that's happening now. So our first question is from BabyBitch93, and he says, I've only seen videos about people opening dictionaries, but what's the difference between that and opening a book of manga? So BabyBitch93, this is a dictionary, a common household dictionary that every household in America has. And this is a book of manga. And so for a dictionary, you can just open it up to the middle or to literally any page. And you just kind of flip the pages like so, right? And I understand how that's a little confusing from opening a book of manga, because what you do is you place it on the table and then you also open up to any page you wish. So yeah, these methods are a little tricky to master, but they're worthwhile. So the next question we have is from Shaolin Soccer 95, and she says, I've noticed that there are many different pages to books. What's the difference between opening to page 26 and page 105? She sounds really distressed. So here's another book, and let's see, we can open here to page 26, and that was like that. So now page 105 might be a little more difficult because it is more towards the center, but there you go. So you can just pause, rewind, replay, see the tactics that I used to open this book, and you're on your way to opening your book to page 105. Next question is from Daddy of 7, and he asks, what techniques would you recommend for opening a spiral-bound book? I have 7 children, so this is a frequent problem for me. I totally understand, and having 7 children can be tough. So, a spiral-bound book, like so, it is a little intimidating for some people, especially parents, because of the spine. It's not a flat spine like other books, but it is a spiral spine. So what you do for this type of book is you grab whatever page you want and then you just flip right through it. This is good for going to page 60, page 110. It works for most pages. It does. So I hope that helped you. I hope that answered your question. Next question is from Capitiller Sushi 94. Jesus Christ. Capitiller Sushi 94 asks, is there a special way that I should be opening my SAT prep book? Sometimes I'm alienated by my peers for doing it wrong. Crying face. Well, you know what, Capitiller Sushi 94? We've all been there. We've all had to study for the SAT. Well, some of us have had to study for the SAT. So what you do is you get a regular old 2007 edition SAT book. I'm not sure if it works with other versions of the of this exact book, but this is the one I have. So if you can get your hands on it, you can practice on this one. So what you do is, there's not really a special way, but there is a wrong way. So you can just grab a couple pages with your fingers like this, right? And then you just pull them to the side. Whoops, that happens sometimes. You pull them to the side and you just, you can skim your book, you can read it, you can place bookmarks, report cards in your book. You can place doctor's visit cards in your book. So there you go. Now this technique isn't limited to just the youngsters, but you older people might still have your SAT prep books, and here's a very handy tool for how to open them now that you're a lot older. Our next question comes from Sassy Fancy Cat subscriber. So Sassy Fancy Cat subscriber asks, what do you think the public should know about how to open thin books? The liberal media is always harping about thick books and the thin ones always get ignored. Well, I understand your frustration because oftentimes a lot of issues are ignored by the media. So, here's what I know about opening thin books. What you do is you grab a couple pages with your hand, with your fingers actually, and you just pull them to the left, and you can do them a couple at a time. I know a lot of you have heard you should only do one page at a time, but I'm telling you that you can actually do 2 pages at a time, maybe even 3. That's if your book has enough pages to do that. But you guys should practice this at home safely. Make sure you are safe while you do this. You don't want to hurt yourself or someone else because you got carried away with thin books, okay? I understand that it's tempting, but the number one thing you always have to remember is to be safe, okay? So, our next question comes from Macaroon Lover, and she writes, I'm scared of opening books. Why? So, this is actually a common problem for youth that you grow up being afraid of books, and it's completely understandable. I mean, have you heard of the Book of Amun-Ra? It's completely crazy. A book made of gold? What is this? Canada? So, you just have to sometimes muster through it. But you might also want to seek professional help, Oprah, Dr. Phil, you need to talk to somebody. So our next question comes from 21 Updog, and she writes, does the location of opening a book matter? What if I'm on the toilet and decide to open a book? So the location of opening a book shouldn't really matter. You use very similar techniques for very many locations. So here's just a run-of-the-mill book, and I'm on my desk, and opening it would just be something similar to this. But if I were, say, on the floor, pretend this is my floor, you would do something similar to this. So again, you might want to rewind and see that again. But yeah, this techniques can be a little different, but you just have to practice and you'll master them. So our last question comes from Sexy Peanut 27, and she writes, do you have anything better to do than make a video to show people how to open books? And you know what, Sexy Peanut 27? Your name concerns me, actually. I mean, do you have sex with peanuts? Are you sexually attracted to peanuts? Do you have sex with peanuts 27 times? 27 of them? What? I mean, grow up. So yeah, I hope that answered your question. And I'm open to suggestions for any more questions you might have about any subject. So good luck, everyone.